Now, to each member of the church I say, keep on the covenant path. They go to the temple along with our 11-year-old young women.
She would be a second wife. She asked this question: would she be able to have her own house? Or would she have to live with her husband and his first wife? I just told her to trust the Lord.
In coming days,
those who do not keep the commandments and observe the laws of God shall be burned at the time of his coming.
are you a full tithe payer?
If there are any among this people who should ever apostatize, prepare your backs for a good whipping.
Travis Wayne Goodsall. This is a two-parter, or combo. There's a follow-up to the video I did last week of Ray Montgomery, in which he threatened to cause me harm by giving me a first warning. And so I mocked him, and it took him a whole week, but now he has given me a second warning. Ooh. And so, how many warnings will I get? Or is that it? Because next week, on Monday, following the pattern of practice, is that when he's going to attack me? And so, what way will he be attacking me? Will it be a cyber terrorist attack? Is he knowledgeable in computer technology and hacking? Is he a cyber terrorist for Jesus? Or what? Obviously, he's hesitating, which anybody who's ever seen any movie knows you do not hesitate. And so, yeah, he needs to follow through with his threats. Come and get me, Ray. Don't just threaten. Come and get me. I dare ya. Expose yourself. Identify who you are. Don't run and hide. There are 3 on LinkedIn. Are you one of those 3? Are you one of the 2 that are identifiable? Or are you still hiding? Or are you hiding your identity, that your name is not Ray? Are you somewhere else in the world? You know, why are you hiding? You're making threats when you're not even identifying who you are? And so I'm not worried about this guy. He doesn't know I'm laughing at him, mocking him. I have had much worse done to me because I will not deny Joseph Smith and the Book of Mormon and the learning of the Jews. That's all I'm doing. And so thus the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is not in the learning of the Jews, and they come right out and lie to us. This means they are evil. Do you not understand this connection, guys? Lying makes you morally evil. And so, no, I'm not going to deny the truth. Nobody can get me to deny the truth. And so the video I did this morning showed that the prophets of this church are threatening all of us to obey. That we have no other choice but to obey them, or we will suffer the consequences of threats of violence and death. And of course they put it on to Jesus. It's all about Jesus. You got to obey Jesus. It's not us. We're just the messengers of Jesus. who's going to come and murder lots of people for a second coming. And nobody sees that as wrong. Apparently not. And so, what Ray does not understand, let alone the rest of Mormonism, is that for you to attack other people because they caught you guys lying makes you the enemy, makes you a threat. But it also implicates the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, whom you think you're defending. The church can get sued for Ray going through with his assault on me. And the church is going to be pissed with Ray. The church doesn't support their own when the church gets compromised by some dumbass who thinks he's protecting the church, when the church already has me under control. Sort of. Right, YouTube Mormon employee? Ray does not understand this. If I get attacked, it will make the news. If I make the news, I'm going to make sure that you, Ray, are exposed on this. And that you were ordered by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And you might think, oh no, they won't believe you, Travis. Yes, they will. Because the church and I have a public document connection. And so it doesn't matter if the church actually ordered you to do it, Ray. Because the church people are going to go to the public source documents and go, there is a connection. Holy crap. Oh my God, look what Travis submitted to the federal courts. Oh my God, the church is evil. The church were furious with my federal filings that made the public realm. I sent Holland to the hospital. That was a good day. And so, no, you cannot get away with wickedness. And so this taunting is not going to get me to stop. I'm doing another video. I'm exposing you so that even if something happens to me, my viewers will know it's you, Ray. Whether you did it or not. The camera froze. This makes Ray a dumbass. He is unprofessional. You are no hitman for Jesus. The church has hired other people to be hitmen, and they failed. What do you think makes you think you're going to succeed? Dear God, evil people are stupid. And so, to continue on with this theme of church corruption and criminal activity, we've got one of the biggest ones that still, to this day, nobody else seems to recognize but me. When I was in the older singles ward, and it was right before sacrament meeting, and I had to sit in the overflow near the middle. I was on the inside aisle on the right side facing the podium, rather than facing into the back cultural hall towards the stage. It was the ward, which was a stake center behind the fire department there on 72nd South, or Fort Union Boulevard as it's most commonly known as. And there was another guy sitting next to me. I don't remember if it was my home teaching companion or some other guy. And we're talking on the subject of dating because we're in the singles ward. That's what we're supposed to be doing. It's the obvious thing of why we're there. And I brought out that dating in the Mormon church is just a higher form of prostitution. Higher priced prostitutes. And just as I said that, a woman came walking by, heard me, turned and was upset with me. Why are you upset with me? Do we not pay the church tithing and promise, covenant, not to have sex until we are sealed in the temple, which requires that we are tithe payers? Back then, full tithe payers. You couldn't be a part tithe payer. But Nelson last year dropped the full tithe paying and said any amount of money you give is good enough for me. Thanks for making me richer. With Section 119's priestcraft, which you know is a forged document because it violates the Book of Mormon. Easy, obvious things. And so, if you don't seem to understand your own religion, that you're just a Mormon to be a Mormon because you're part of a gang, but you have no clue what it's about, the covenants that we make are not with Jesus. He's not here. He's not real. He's not there for us to make covenants with and him in return, because a covenant is a two-way promise. And so the covenants are only in the temple. The church has the 5 covenant paths, and we have to obey. We make a solemn oath and covenant to obey. It used to have the penalties when I first went in. We must obey or we die. We're supposed to commit suicide for failing to keep our covenants. Right, Nelson? Amazing. Nelson says he's going to give everything to the actual Christ. And since Jesus isn't real, it therefore must be the Jewish Christ that Joseph Smith in the Book of Mormon are talking about. He fails to do that. And he failed to finish the temple so that Jesus could come on conference weekend to his temple, according to the prophecy of Malachi, so that he can then go and murder people on Monday, according to the Christian and Muslim or Islamic interpretation of Revelation 19. Thus also this church's interpretation. Not Joseph's interpretation, but he's well aware of the Christian, Islamic, and Mormon interpretation. He's a prophet. He knows these things. And so all Mormons have to obey. And you have to pay. So, prostitution as defined. The practice or occupation of engaging in sexual activity with someone for payment. Tithing is payment for the sole purpose of having sex with a woman. Women are not supposed to be working. Women are supposed to stay home and be pregnant. Remember? How does a woman get pregnant? Sex. What does the church constantly tell us about abstinence only? It's for sex. We have to pay the church, go to the temple, get sealed with the payment money to the church for sex. It's an easy match. You know, Sesame Street, where I learned how to use associative memory to bypass memorization. One of these things is not like the other. Yep. It's a simple, direct match. that nobody can deny except for denialists, who are enemies of pure evil. The church is engaged in prostitution. But wait, that's not all. Sex trafficking. The action or practice of illegally transporting people from one country or area to another for the purpose of sexual exploitation. So Mormons, are they just in the state of Utah? Nope. What does Utah have? BYUs and other religious places and even companies for people from other countries to come and attend. For what purpose again? BYU. What does BYU stand for? Brigham Young University. Everybody knows it's a meat market, that only men are supposed to go there for an education to get a job. Women go there for their MRS degree. And so women from other countries come to BYU, they meet a missionary that was in their mission field, they fall in love as they have shared experiences, and they get sealed in a temple. The Church of Jesus Christ with tithing also involves sex trafficking. There are a number of missionaries who have been sealed to a woman from their mission field. Very common. That's sex trafficking. And it's all because of tithing from section 119. This is why what Brigham Young did by the practice of polygamy, forcing tithing after Joseph is dead, was practicing not only prostitution, but also bigamy or polygamy. All are illegal. But then by fleeing the country to come to this valley, and then ordering Mormons in 1852, it's now sex trafficking. Not to mention the slave trafficking with the Perpetual Immigration Fund that Brigham Young started in 1849 to bring other Mormons to the Kingdom of Zion. These are crimes. You cannot tell me the church is innocent, or that because it's the one true church of Jesus, they get a pass on anything criminal. That it can be redefined as not criminal because, well, it's the church. And you seriously think you're going to fool me on this? You seriously think I don't know about Article of Faith number 12? We believe in being subject to kings, presidents, rulers, and magistrates, in obeying, honoring, and sustaining the law. And you should know very well, Helaman chapter 6, verses 21 to 23, I'm verse 24, by the way, of the secret combination, and how they run things, violating the law in secret, while in public they are proponents of the law, lie. And so again, yesterday was the anniversary of Joseph Smith's Relief Society. Not Brigham Young's, Joseph Smith's. Brigham Young didn't start it up again until 20 years later, because he had a purpose and a reason for doing it. Gotta pay attention. You can't just believe whatever the church tells you, because they lie. You're smart enough to read the Book of Mormon, 1 Nephi chapter 1, verse 2, learning of the Jews. Means it's not Christian. It has nothing to do with Jesus of the Christians. It's the Jewish Christ. And so you cannot convince me otherwise. The church is a criminal organization. This crime has been going on for 200 years, since Brigham Young infiltrated the church to destroy it with his crimes, blaming Joseph and getting him murdered, paying the Judas price with the Danite secret ledger that became tithing. And so the church released, whether this morning or last night, it doesn't matter. It's the #1 thing on the church news. So we're doing it early, sort of, by 3 hours. Power of covenant-keeping women. Let me reword this for those of you who are a little slow. The power of submissive and obedient women. Women aren't furious with this? You got the 3 women, only one of them has got the dumb blonde smile. The other one looks like she's tired and needs to go to bed. And then the other one looks like she's smirking as if she's conceiving of something evil in her head. That's just, a photographer has a very important job to do. He's got to take just the right picture, and it helps if the subjects cooperate. Nonetheless, yesterday was the anniversary of the Relief Society. And instead of celebrating the founding of Relief Society, the church news release, Power of Covenant-Keeping Women, celebrated during Worldwide Relief Society devotional. Not the anniversary, because somebody might actually go to the Joseph Smith papers and learn that Joseph Smith had set up a women's organization with priesthood and priesthood office. Oops, Oakes has been caught in General Conference saying something very naughty. Whatever would that be, Oakes? He's next, you know. He's going to be the next president of the church whenever Nelson dies. Do you understand this? In 2014's General Conference, he was heard saying, quote, "They," referring to women in the context, "are not free to alter the divinely decreed pattern that only men will hold offices in the priesthood." But Emma was the president of the Woman's Quorum of Priesthood, Melchizedek priesthood. Technically Melchizedek or ought. Depends, I guess, which Masoretic group you use for the feminine singular ending. Oakes lied at the pulpit of conference because of Kate Kelly and her organized women. Ordained women. Ordained women. The church went on to excommunicate Kate Kelly. And then since that time, the church then pacified, flattered, and deceived women. You know, Lucifer's tactics to shut women up. Why are you still Mormon, women? Dear God, the church is blatantly telling you you're scum. Obey and shut up. And you still remain Mormon. You still thank thee, O God, for a prophet who lies to you and takes your money to make him rich. As you're a prostitute, a whore for Jesus. Do we need to go over the definitions again? Tithing turns you into a whore. The church leaders are pimps, collecting the money from their slut whores. Is this what you want your church to be? It's illegal to do this in Utah, but it's the church. And so, yeah, pyramid schemes are also illegal in the United States. But the church owns stock in USANA and doTERRA because the church itself also, thanks to tithing, practices pyramid schemes. Pyramid scheme is where members pay the head of the business, purchase a kit to go around and recruit others to join and pay the leaders the money. And then likewise pay for a kit, go out and recruit others to do the same thing. It's a pyramid scheme. By definition, it is criminal. Like I said, everything the church does is a lie. Therefore, with tithing, which they lie to us, saying it's from the Lord, it's from them. Brigham Young, section 119. And it is a crime. And as such, everything the church does is criminal. Even if normally it would be innocent, but because of tithing, it's now corrupted. Church gives money to a charitable company. Oops. Does that company have a stock that the church invests in? Are any of them Mormon that have to pay tithing back to the church? Everything the church does is a crime. They're using religion as a cover for their crimes to get away with it. And they have. Ever since 1923, when Heber J. Grant reincorporated as an organization, deceiving Mormons as if it never even happened. We've always been to the church. We've never been dissolved by the United States of America in 1887. Didn't happen. They were attacking us for our religious freedom against 11-year-old girls. It was 14 back then. It's 11 now since 2019. Are you obeying? Law of chastity. Do you not go to the temple? Did you not hear about the change? Do you not know what it says? I've been telling you over and over again, and showing you, and providing video clips, so that you will not be deceived. And so this is what Ray is threatening me to be silent about and let the church get away with. The church is a fraud. They are not legitimate. They are the great and abominable church. Literally. Book of Mormon is amazingly prophetic. Anybody who embraces Jesus are the great and abominable church. Anybody who embraces the ancient religions is the actual true church, as long as you interpret it correctly. Learning of the Jews are part of the ancient church. Those are the two churches, Mormons. Anything with Jesus is the wrong church. So yes, Islam. Oops, wrong church. Christians, Islam, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are the great and abominable church. Everything they do is criminal and abominable, because it's all anti-Semitic. Chuck Schumer is an anti-Semite. I'm concerned about Bernie. What's up with you, Bernie? Are you an anti-Semite? I thought you were Jewish. Nobody can go against Israel. It automatically makes you the enemy. Biden. I saw t-shirts in Trump's little rally over the weekend. They were saying something like, let's go, Brandon. What does that mean, Biden? Biden knew what he needed to do with the Congress in 2021. Immediately needed to reverse everything of Trump. They failed. So guess what I heard Trump say in the rally yesterday? We're going on day one to reverse everything of the Biden administration. He'll do it if he gets the opportunity. Trump keeps his promises. The deep state Dems knew what they had to do to save America. They failed. Merrick Garland knew what he needed to do when he got put in. He knew that he was rejected by the pre-MAGAs under Obama and was skipped to become a Chief Justice. And so when he got put in as AG, he knew why he was there and what he needed to do. He failed. Apparently, he too is going against Israel. He too, strangely enough, is an anti-Semite. I knew he was less active, but we have all these Jews who seem to betray their people. And there's only one way that that would be the case, that they are being threatened or promised money to deny. Like Benjamin Franklin Johnson did by the Danites. Just like every single Mormon is by the prophets of this church. You are betraying humanity with this enemy that is about to destroy America. And Trump says he can't wait. 7 months is too long. But like I told you, they are going to cause destruction. So now the deep state Dems are all panicked. Oh no, Trump said bloodbath. They've been saying that since 2019 for the 2020 election. So, such is the sad reality, Mormons. You have chosen wrong, and you think that you're protecting the church when you're just going to further expose the church and have the church abandon you, kick you to the curb, Ray. They're not going to reward you. They have to approve of your actions first. Now, if you want to come out and confess and show the documents that yes, the church prophets have approved you to proceed with these threats and carry them out, by all means, present the documents. Otherwise, you are putting yourself in great jeopardy, and the church will not save you, because they're going to protect themselves. And it will be difficult for them to do because of our history.